Hi, it's Frank.delrio here with Century 21, and welcome back to my video blog, your place online for real estate information, ideas, and how to get the most out of the real estate market. Today I'm going to talk about a very important topic when you're selling a home. It's why your first offer is typically your best offer. Now, why do I make this statement? Well, if you're on the market for sale, or maybe you're thinking about getting your home on the market for sale, you're going to get some offers on your properties. It could be within the first couple of days, the first few weeks, the first few months, whatever it may be. What we know is that from statistics and over decades of experience, that your first offer is typically going to be your best offer, and more importantly, it's going to be your best buyer. I wrote down a couple of thoughts for you to think about the entire buying process and why we make that statement. You know, for the buyers, it starts with the internet. Okay, they start looking on all of the free sites. You've probably been to them yourself. Zillow, Realtor.com, YouTube, Redfin, and the list goes on. I can name many, many more. Maybe they go out there, they look at some open houses, they drive by the properties to kind of get an idea of the neighborhood and the location. They even connect with a few real estate agents to kind of get educated from those agents about the real estate market, at which point then they start looking at homes. And today, believe it or not, it actually takes a buyer anywhere from 4 to 6 months to buy a home. This includes viewing about 100 or so properties, either in person but mainly online, just to educate themselves about the marketplace right now. Ultimately, the buyer that's going to make their first offer, give you your first offer on your home, has already been looking for 4 to 6 months and has viewed up to about 100 or so properties. So think about this. You're putting your home on the marketplace. A motivated buyer sees it. It meets their criteria, it's in their price range, or maybe it's out of their price range, but everything else fits, the location, the condition, I mean, you name it. They get excited and they go and they engage their agent to take them into the property to see it ASAP. This buyer is already going to be educated. They're already going to be ready and motivated because your property fits the criteria, versus that buyer who's just kind of getting the process started. They're just kind of getting their feet wet, so to speak. So if this buyer comes in and they make an offer within the first week or the first couple of days, or maybe it's been a month, whatever it may be, typically they're always going to be your best offer. They're the most educated and they know the marketplace right now. I'll give you two perfect examples that I recently had. One's fortunate and one is not so much. I'm going to give you the not so much first. I've got a property on the market for sale right now, and when I met these sellers, I gave them a listed price. My professional recommendation was a list price of $499,000. Okay, I recommended that's what the home will sell for in about 30 days. So I gave them that number, but in their minds, they wanted something completely different, which is okay. And what's interesting about this is we ended up listing the property at $550,000 because that's what they wanted. So we started at $550,000. It sat on the market for about 5 weeks. Well, guess what? We got an offer. And we got an offer on the property for $485,000. Now, my professional opinion was it was right around $499,000, $500,000. Okay, so I know the offer's not $500,000, but it's pretty darn close to the number that I recommended. However, in the seller's mind, because they were already committed to $550,000, they see this offer as being way too low. They're lowballing us, they're insulting us. They're telling me, I can go on and on about what they were telling me about this offer. Now, as an agent, I'm able to educate my clients and share with them the importance of counter-offering the offer that we had at hand. I told them, make a counter offer. Let's go back and let's see how much further up we can get them in price. So to make a long story short, after a few counter offers going back and forth with this agent and their buyers, we got these buyers to come all the way back up to $500,000. But at this point, the sellers, they didn't want to take it. They still wanted to hold out. I think it was for somewhere like $515,000, $520,000 is what they wanted to hold out for. That buyer walked. They found another property that they made a bid on. Fast forward to today, it's now been 85 days on the market. My clients have gone through 2 price reduction, and now they're priced at $515,000, and they're most likely going to be bringing their property price down to $495,000. So you have to understand that the first buyer, the first offer, are typically the best. my sellers now wish they had that same opportunity today. Experience number 2, completely different. It was way more successful. Last month, I had a property that I put up for sale. I met with the folks at their property, and we talked about prices. We both agreed that $475 was the highest we can probably sell a home for in today's market. It was the maximum. And they'd be happy with that. At the same time, they wanted just to kind of push it up a little bit more. So we listed the house at $510, knowing very well that the house probably should sell for about $475. After 2 weeks on the market, we got an offer for $450,000. Now, they weren't happy with that whatsoever, neither was I. And they felt too it was way too low, it was insulting, I mean the whole deal, right? They take my advice though, and we send a counter offer. We go back and forth. We sent out 5 counter offers to this buyer. Our end result ended up getting these buyers back up to $472,000 with a 30-day closing, and which was only $3,000 off what we originally expected to sell for the property. This client was so happy. They were ecstatic. They were able to upgrade into the larger home they wanted. Their life wasn't on hold anymore with this sale. And ultimately, I have a number of other examples that I can share with you. But ultimately, what we're talking about here is that the buyers that you get the first time around, the first offer you get, are typically the best. I can go on and on about this, but I like to keep these videos short and to the point for you. So just remember, your first buyer is always going to be your best buyer. If you know someone right now that could use this information, or maybe they're having a tough time selling their home, do me a favor, pass this email, forward it on out to them. It kind of gets the word out there. I greatly appreciate it. And of course, if I could ever do anything to help you with your real estate, whether it be buying, selling, or just talking about what you should do, whether it be to sell now or maybe hold on for a little bit longer, please reach out to me. I'd be honored to help you with your real estate. I'll give you my personal cell phone, 626-780-2705. You can call me, you can text me, or just send me an email to fdelrio@live.com. Thanks again for stopping by, and have a great day.